Hello YouTube, welcome back. My name's James and this is my channel, iDiscover.tv. This channel is been built or has been built to show you guys sort of motion graphics, anything from Cinema 4D to Motion 5. And what I've done is I've taken a long break to be working on a few new projects. And as part of this video, I'll be letting you have access to one whole of my training sessions, one that you can see right now playing in the background. And these channels or videos are all about Motion 5. So I've teamed up with a company called Udemy, that's udemy.com, and with their help, if you like, I've been able to monetize my videos for not very much money. So you're going to be able to find two really great courses on Motion 5 on there. One's called Getting Started, and the other one's called Going Further in Motion 5. And basically the courses which take you from not knowing anything to really creating some great complex graphics. Now obviously they always have great deals on, so I sort of say to you, jump over and have a look and see if there's anything there that interests you. I've had some great reviews so far. I can only thank a lot of you, because I know a lot of you have come from YouTube to go to Udemy to buy my courses and support me in doing that, and that's been absolutely fabulous. So a massive thanks to you guys for doing that, because that means that, you know, I can actually get paid to do what I love doing. I gave up on making money from YouTube a long time ago, which is unfortunate. So what this video is about is, I won't go on, but this video is about giving you access to one of those training sessions. This one is in the Going Further in Motion 5. So this is free, this is for you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. I will be doing more content for this channel, but right now I'm trying to build up, you know, enough funds, if you like, to basically let me keep doing this stuff for free for you guys and making that little bit of money on the side to keep me going forward, to basically keep me going forward, to create more content. So here you go. I won't babble anymore, but visit these two links that are on screen now to have a look at that trading, and I promise you you're gonna love it. Otherwise, enjoy this free tutorial from udemy.com/Apple Motion 5_GF. Thanks very much. See you next time, and keep subscribed. Thank you. Bye. Hello and welcome back to Going Further with Motion with me, James. Today we've been looking at creating this bit of animation here. It's called the Gym Boot Company, and it's going to look something like this. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of things all going on. This sky in the background is part of an asset which is already built into Motion, so we're going to be using that in this. The other parts of this we've got off the internet and is available in our little folder of content. So quite a bit happening in here. So let's go ahead and build this. So here we are in Motion. Let's kick off and make sure we're at 720p or whatever you want to size you want to create here. Again, I always stick to 720p. 25 frames a second, and we're going to make this 15 seconds long. Just click in there and obviously change it to whatever you want. I said it should be about 15 seconds, and we're going to press open. Here we are inside Motion. We're going to do lots of zooming in and out of this session today. So if you've not got it already, see this picture of a hand here. If I click on this and go to zoom, okay, so now I've got to zoom. If I hover my cursor over the canvas, you'll see that I can click and drag. So holding down left mouse button there, I'm clicking and dragging it to enable me to go in that screen quite quickly and easily. Obviously you can go up here and say fit screen, or 100% or 50%, etc. But I found this extremely useful, this plus and minus. Shift and Z, so if I hold down Shift and Z, that's also a very quick way of filling the screen with the content. So it basically fits it. As you see the word fit here, it does exactly the same with Shift and Z. Okay, so you'll see me using those shortcuts quite a bit during this session, so that sets us up beautifully. Okay, so let's get it about here. So let's go ahead and start to bring in some of our content. So if I go to the word import, in here you'll see our session 3 folder. There's our media folder, And the first one we bring in is our countryside, and press import. There you go. Okay, and as you see, the content's slightly smaller than the screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to stretch that out to kind of make that fit for us. Okay, so it's just overlapping a little bit, which is roughly what I want, something like that. Okay, now we go to import again, and we bring in our mountain range, press import. There we go. There's our mountains, and again we're going to just stretch that out. Obviously if I hold down shift, it will constraint it. If I let go of shift, we see we can kind of pull it out of that constraint if we so wish. So I want something that's going to fill our canvas, which is about something like that. That making it look too odd. Okay, there's that. Cool. What else do we need to bring in? Let's click on here. We've got something called clouds. So this clouds, if I give it a click, you'll see it's this bit of animation. Now this is already inside of your motion install folder. So what I mean by that is if you go to your library here, so this is our library, and if I come all the way down here, you'll see the word content. Okay, so there's lots of free content inside here, and I really do urge you to look in here if you haven't already. There's some cool stuff, but to kind of skim through, it says 1,349. I need to download those clouds. If I go down to a little search there, type in clouds, you'll see that it's actually already built in. I don't know why it's not showing me there, but it is built in. So if I press clouds and I press apply, you see it brings it in for me. Okay, but I have included it just in case inside of the movie file, just in case you haven't got it. Okay, it's 19.5 megabytes. So there's our clouds, and again, because it's a video file, we are free to stretch that as well, which is pretty good. Okay, so there is our 3 layers. Now what I'm going to do is we'll leave those as they are. Now I'm going to press import. Now I've also included here something called boot copy. Okay, now this is a JPEG. Okay, so if I bring this in and press import, you'll see it's a JPEG, which means it's obviously kept its white background. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to press delete. I'm going to minimize my motion file there. Go to my file folder. Go to documents. There we go. Inside session 3. There's the boot. Now, if I just double click this inside of Finder, okay, something called preview opens up for us. Okay, so yeah, we'll see here it's got the word preview, and to save any sort of time, I'm just going to take the white background out of here. Obviously, you could load up Photoshop, something like that. But if I click on this little tool here, okay, it says toolbar. Show me toolbar. There's something called a little wand. Give it a click. If I move my cursor anywhere in this white bit, click and hold and drag, you'll see that I can start to take that white background really easily. I find it so simple to do it here inside of preview as opposed to opening up Photoshop or Affinity Designer or Affinity Photo as well. That does it. So if I let go, okay, so click and hold and drag, it's now put a little border around everything. Just press the delete key. Now when you turn it from a JPEG to delete this bit out, it's going to turn it into a PNG, which is a sort of a see-through folder file, sorry. So press that, there you go, snap that straight out. So now that's going to be see-through, so it saves as a PNG. So I can close all of that. So now we have, so look, double click it, we have a PNG file, which is exactly what we want. So if I go back into motion now, we were before, press import, click on our boot, ta-da, there we go. Perfect, just what I need. Okay, so I'm going to style that down, something like that. That's perfect. There's a little handle here as well. Let's just tilt this, which is pretty good. So there's all our layers. Okay, so with all our layers in place, what we're going to do is start to work on all these separate items inside of here. So we're going to uncheck these. Okay, so all we've got is our background, which is our countryside, and I'm going to basically mask out what I don't need from this. So I'm going to send a mask around here. So if you've not done this before, click on this icon here. I've got this thing called a Bezier mask here. Okay, now it gives us a pen. Now all I'm going to do is click, 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 all the way to there, to there, to there, and just link it up with the previous one. Perfect. Now that should have happened to yours. If that hasn't happened, with the Bezier mask highlighted, go to the inspector, and under mask, you'll see inside here, it's got invert mask. If I click on that, you see it does the other side, okay? So we want to make sure that obviously it's kept that. Now you'll notice here that I've been a bit shabby with it. I'm not going to worry too much about this, but if I go to a little magnifying button here and zoom in, okay, I'm going to show you how to kind of refine that just a little bit here. Okay, so there's all our points. Now if I click off countryside and go back to the Bezier mask, you'll notice all those points have gone. Okay, so how do I edit that? Well, we're going to go to our icon here, click on this, and hold our mouse button down when we click on there and press edit points. So it brings back those edit points for me. So I can now click and hold and drag those down. Yeah, simple, hey? Simple when you know. Click and hold. So I can get rid of these little bits I don't need. Okay. Command Z just to undo anything you might have done by accident there. Okay, not too worried about that. There we go. All right. Now what if I want to add an extra pointer here? Well, if I hold down the option key on my Mac keyboard, so hold down the option key and then hover over any of that red line, you'll see the little plus button appears. If I click that once, there is my new sort of key frame there. So I can now drag that up because the Bezier I can hold it in. So obviously I can add as many of these as I want and start to shape landscape how I want. So go to magnifying glass. Okay, that's okay. That's what I want. So Shift and Z, I'll bring that back up. So there you go. There is our first bit of countryside landscape there. So we're going to go to our mountain now. So we can uncheck that. We finish with that. Go to our mountain. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit from here. There we go. Now the same thing again is I'm going to basically very roughly chop this around using our mask tool. So again, I'll start off over here and come in. Okay. And again, if you've got Photoshop as well or other products that lets you do this sort of thing, go ahead and use that. That's not a problem. So I can be as delicate as I want. Again, it's not one of those lessons where I'm teaching you to use a tool, more of a fact of you know, showing what the motion is capable of. So there is my mask. Again, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. And you see I've already stretched out to fill this canvas here. So there's that bit done. We've got our clouds there. Our clouds are okay. If I press spacebar there, press play, you see that's a good bit of content there. What I need to do now is start to arrange these layers into what I call a final format. Okay, so let's jump out at 100%. Let's have a look at this composite. Let's turn all our layers back on. Okay, they all are there. Okay, so we need to start rearranging these in the correct order. So the clouds are going to be at the back. Okay, and then we want to bring our countryside above that, on our mountain kind of, let's bring that there. That's it, let's arrange this properly. There we go. We want this to be roughly there. Our mountains, that's perfect. Now our boot, click and hold and drag and drop that in front of there. That's about right. Now again, use this handle just to twist it a little bit. Probably make it a little bit bigger as well. Yep, that looks about right. I need to bring my logo in as well, so let's go ahead and bring that logo in. So import, and this would be something called the Gym Boot logo. I built this in Affinity Designer, I think. There you go. So there it is, there's that. Now let's scale that, hold down Shift, put where I want that to be, so maybe about there. Okay, so that looks pretty good so far. Now this project is going to be roughly about 12 seconds long in total. Okay, so that's what it should look like when we're finished. So let's go ahead and grab hold of our sort of the end frame here. We can drag this out to roughly about 12 seconds. There we go. There we go, that's fine. So you see the project runs to that full length, but now it's going to stop at 12 seconds. Okay, it gives us time to do anything. But we'll notice that the clouds, let's click and hold on this and drag it up. we'll notice that clouds finish because it's a piece of video. If I put my cursor here, you see I can't stretch it any longer because it's a piece of video running across the whole timeline. So what I can do here is something really cool. If I go to behavior, okay, and inside here you've got something called retiming. So there's lots of things you can do inside here, but one thing I can do is go to set speed. Okay, so behavior, retiming, set speed. Give that a click. Okay, a little panel opens up inside of our behaviors. It says set speed. It's set to 50%. Okay, so it's going to go 50%, but my bar hasn't changed. And the reason for that is because if I put my cursor there now and click and hold and drag, I now have the space to make that last longer. Look at this. So yes, it slowed it down slightly, but it still works for us. But it's trying to stretch that animation across the whole sort of 12 frames, 12 seconds that I need. Cool, there you go. So that is that. But the panel that controls all that, if I click on set speed, you've got it all inside of here. Okay, so you can move these up and down, but you'll notice unless you drag it out, it won't really affect what's happening inside of there. So there you go. So now my piece of video has been slowed down to fit the length of my video. Now you'll notice in my video that we did, let's go and open that back up again, the chin boot animation one here. Let's have another look at it. That they all start to fall down into place. Okay, and they have this bit of writing coming on, then the logo appears. Okay, so we're going to bring this bit of writing in now. So what I tend to do is set this up exactly as you see it here, set up the end goal really. This is what we want it to look like at the end, and then we're going to work backwards when it comes to the animation. It makes it so much easier in my opinion anyway. So let's go ahead and start to add this piece of text into our boot animation. So to do that, what we can do is we've got a group highlighted there, press the T for text and click up in here, and we're just going to type in here, traveling the world one step at a time. So there it is. Now once I've typed that in, I'm going to press escape. That tells us we finished with it. Got to my size tool here. Okay, that should have opened up. And let's roughly line this up a little bit. So let's take that down a little smidge there. Just a little bit. There we go. So I need to shape this around the boot. So how do I do that? Well, this is really cool. If we go to, so we've got the text highlighted, we've got the layout there, text, format, and then layout. Okay, so the layout method is set to type. Okay, so if I click on type and I go to then path, okay, path. Okay, nothing changes until I double click on that text there. So give it a double click, and now we can see we've got these three dots. Okay. So let's zoom in here and have a quick look again. Zoom in, okay. So path, okay. Go to our pointer here. Give it a double click. These three dots suddenly appear. So if I start to pull this, yeah, cool, okay. Lovely. Drag this down to here. Okay, so it's starting to bend now. Perfect, this is really what I want to happen. So I need to add another point here to make it the shape of the boot. So as before, if I hold down the option key, you'll see that little sort of ink pen appears. Give it a click. Okay, it's added that control point for me. So I can now click and hold and drag that in there. So cool, eh? Okay, so what I want to do is I need to go kind of maybe leave that there, add another control point here. So hold down the option key, give it a click, and just drag that up. That's perfect. That's what I wanted to say. So there you go. It's really simple. So we chose the layout method path. We got normal text. That gives us these three control points. By holding an option, I've clicked on each one of those, and it's given me what I want. Perfect. Now let's plus, and let's hold down left mouse and just drag that backwards a little bit. Perfect. Another little tip here is if I click on this and go to the pan tool, you see it gives me a hand, and I can click and hold and move the canvas where I need it to be. Okay, back to the pointer. So here we are inside of there. Now what we do is just change this text a little bit. So if I go to appearance, there's something called the outline. So this will punch the text for me, and then go to black. There we go, black. And once we've done that, where are we? Here we are. Width, just bring that width up a little bit. Look at that. Perfect. So now it looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that now. So that's that path tool, which is a pretty cool way of wrapping some text around a shape. Now what we're going to do is going to reverse engineer all of this now to create that final animation. So how we do that? So first thing we do is we're going to zoom out. So let's go at 50, maybe not so far. Let's go to our zoom here. Okay, about there. Now go to my pan. Okay, there we are. Okay, so that's where we want our canvas to be roughly. Okay, so everything is now in place. It's looking pretty good. So what we do, at 4 seconds, we want all this animation to land, okay? So by 4 seconds, all of these things have fallen into place. So I'm going to put my playhead exactly there, okay? I'm going to work backwards from all this, right? So let's close down these points here. Cool, that's that done. So the first thing we do is, let's get our clouds, okay? So clouds are highlighted. Our playhead is on our 4 second marker. We're going to go to properties and in position. So position, this is where it is in 3D space, and on the Y. So the X is left to right, Y is up and down, and Z is backwards and forwards in 3D space. So with our Y, what we can do is put a little keyframe on the Y. Ready? Bang. Okay. So there's our 4 second marker there. Okay. So there's our keyframe added in. Let's make sure we've got the clouds highlighted. There it is. There's our keyframe. Just move the playhead back over here to the start, and in the Y, just click and hold and just push that just above there like that. Done. Okay, so if I press play, beautifully falls in, and we're going to do that for each one of these. So again, 4 seconds. There we are. Got the mountain. So again, under the mountain highlighted, we've got the word properties. On the Y, hit the plus, there's my keyframe, move it back to the start and take that just there, just above the canvas screen there. There's that done. Okay, perfect. Countryside, that's not been done yet, so again, keyframe in the Y, rewind. Take that to top. There we go. Perfect. Okay, the boot is probably the last one, so let's take that from there. Keyframe in the Y. Drop it back and push that just out of shot there. Okay, so the last one we see there is this gym boot logo. So we don't want that to appear until much later. So all I'm going to do is take my playhead to around a 412, something like that, and just press I. Okay, if that's not working for you, put your cursor on the end here and just drag that to there as well. Okay, so we won't see that. So what we've got at the moment then is this animation. They're all falling into place, which is exactly what I want to happen. Okay, so let's go and zoom in here. Okay, so Shift and Z, that brings it up, but we can hold on that mouse button and just drag it in out. So let's have a look at that now. Press play. Fantastic, it's all falling into place. So what we want to do is just retime this slightly so that you can see that each layer is kind of falling a little bit shorter than the previous one. Probably a good point to save our project. So go to File, Save. Remember to collect media. Okay, so Demo Boot Gym there. Press Save. It says my project saved, so I'm not going to lose anything, folks. Right, so now inside of here, we'll start off with our countryside. So what I want to do is I want to take this keyframe, it's set at 4 seconds, and at 220, we're going to grab that keyframe to stop at about 220, and that basically means it's going to come down quite, see it kind of like falls down, and you see the rest is going to settle behind it, which makes that animation look a lot nicer. Okay. Next thing, we've got the mountain, so let's go to the mountain one, and we drag the mountain to about 308. So there's our mountain, there's our keyframe, so normally it's there, so we're going to speed that up a bit. There we go. So the mountain's got that nice little bit of a drop at the end. See, that's nice. Yeah, perfect. There we go. And now the boot. So go to our boot. So with the boot, what we're going to do is we're going to extend it just a few, sort of under a second there. Look, 8. Cool. Now, if you're wondering where I got this animation from initially, I'd been to an airport and I'd seen this actually on one of those fantastic billboards, these animated billboards we're seeing a lot more of these days. So I saw the animation, thought that was really simple what they'd done there, but it's quite effective when you're walking up to it. You know, airports are a great place to see this sort of stuff in action. So if you see anything like that, feel free to email it me and we'll have a look at building it if you like in another session. So you can email me at james@idiscover.tv. So you see any sort of cool animation, send it my way and we'll see if we can't break it down and see how that works. So there you go. So it's all slowing down beautifully. Got that. Cool. Now let's have a look where our text is, because at this point now they've all fallen down beautifully. We want to bring in my text at this 4.8 second mark here. So boom, there it is. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So it hits and then boom, it appears. Okay, and our logo is roughly going to come in at that 4 second mark as well. So cool. Let's hide that logo for 1 second. So we're going to look at bringing this traveling the world one step at a time in. Okay, so the way we can do this is head over our text there, go to layout, and inside the layout we've got the word type on. Now this is quite cool, there's some great settings inside of here, but we'll concentrate on this for now. So it's type on 100%. If I move this down, ta-da, okay, you can do that, or like that. Okay, so you can actually go backwards, which is also quite cool. So in this case, we don't want to see this at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our cursor, in this case at the 407 where it starts, and then we're going to rewind this so it doesn't show. So hit the keyframe. Okay, so there's our keyframe there now. And again, just a fraction of time, and then drag that up. Okay, so let's have a look at that now. So as it comes down, perfect. Now I think at that point would be a good idea then to go to our gym boot logo. Let's see it, there it is. And under sort of behaviors, basic motion, fade in. That's a great time to bring that in, I think. Ready? Press play. It's a space bar, press play. So as it comes to an end, I want that to say that then. So yeah, it starts a little bit sooner. So let's take it to there. Let's take our gym boot one there and just fade that in just as it comes in. There we go. Ready? Magic. And there it is. There's our animation. So all we're left to do now is let's make sure that runs to the end, which it does. Let's bring that in a bit. Okay, so if I go to share now, export movie. In here it says entire project within 15 seconds. Make that, in this case, 1124. I think it's supposed to be about 12, that's fine. Include video and audio. In this case, it's just video with this. Press next. Okay, and this is a demo. Press save. And that's now going to export that. Again, depending on the speed of your computer, that should do it a certain amount of time. Hopefully, when I press play, there we have it. There's our video. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. As you see, again, keeping all our assets named is so important. Let's go file and save as well, just while we're here. It's so important because you see how easy we cut through that content very, very simply, very, very easily. But again, it's that whole working backwards, not trying to build the animation and then let it all fall into place. Getting that animation where you want it roughly and then rewinding it made that whole process 10 times easier, and something I found out quite literally the hard way. So again, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.